Hello everyone, Courtney here. Today will be a fun spin-off from episode 3, The Success Bar and How to Get Above Average Results. We now know how to achieve that, and yet, many seem to still be in the middle of the pack, slowly starting to fall into this category of utmost frustration. As a coach at InventRight, to me, this is like staring at a yellow banana and just hoping one day it will turn purple. I'm sorry to break it to you, but let's just rip that adhesive bandage off now. It won't turn purple. This reminds me of the Albert Einstein quote from episode 3. This time, it hits a bit harder, and I hope it will for you too. He said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Maybe that's why, in the past, inventors were conceived of as crazy inventors. Welcome to episode number 30. Let's get into it.
Where inventing, passion, and hard work intersect. Welcome to the Serial Inventing Podcast. Bite-sized, perspective-altering episodes on serial inventing and beyond. From motivating key tips on product licensing to obstacle-busting conversations on transitioning to a full-time serial product developer. Buckle your seatbelt, because you're in for a ride. Warning, this podcast may motivate you to make wild decisions that will propel you forward in your inventing career and hijack more of your time for your passion. If you aren't ready to make it happen, then this podcast isn't for you.
When we really dislike something, we change it, such as being stuck at a job you just can't stand. There is a certain level of frustration that must happen before you change that aspect of your life. And usually, we wait, aggravatingly, until that intensity hits a bar we have that we can't take anymore, and we make that change. Just like many people's health, we only change when there is a problem. It seems like our society is pretty focused on only making a change when it feels too late. And in inventing and health, and probably many other areas, this is a big problem. What do you do when you are mildly upset at the workplace you are at and it is slowly getting worse? Or when your car's windshield wipers barely work, but they still do? We seem to be used to writing things until the wheels fall off. And until they do, we are stuck in a weird mediocre abyss. Just when the wipers are starting to squeak and get rusty, we seem to be too. But we don't want to change it because it's not dead yet. But I think we should shift that mentality. When we hit the success bar, well, we hit it and get a deal. As mentioned in episode 3, please give that another listen. And when we are absolutely miserable, crazy, amazing things happen to us. We get so upset. Wait for it. We change. Crazy. I know. But what about the middle? The perspective shift I want to make is this. There is never really a middle. If 100% is success and 0% is getting incredibly frustrated until something happens, then you are either 51% towards the success bar or 49% towards the frustration bar. Wherever the momentum is, the wave will move towards that direction. Your job is to help steer that wave to that 51% or get to that frustration bar as fast as possible and feel that frustration faster. I know that sounds like some crazy advice, but both options are far better than feeling and being stagnant. Now, of course, I'd prefer to get listeners and my students towards that success bar, especially because of 3 big things that could happen when you hit that frustration bar turning point. Now, of course, I'd prefer to get listeners and my students towards that success bar, especially because of 3 big things that could happen when you hit that frustration bar turning point. Either you A, give up, which is a decision, Or you B, change everything for the better and actually make an effort to hit your goal, which is a decision. Or you C, make some rash decisions with your money and lack of time as a last ditch effort, which often brings you up to that success bar about 10%, to slowly then trickle back down to the frustration bar, which often still leads to giving up. And that is a decision. Do you see the similarities between these three options? They are decisions. And all decisions are better than staying in the middle, stagnant, sitting in mediocrity. It feels like a special kind of insanity because it is. Don't be that person. If you feel stagnant, do something. Tip in one direction or another. Force yourself to make a move, or the other player in your chess game will win. The first step we all must embrace is awareness. Do you feel like you are in the middle? Are you really committed? My question to you is, are you the main character in your inventing story? Or are you a non player character, an NPC, in your own inventing life? Thanks for tuning in and taking a few bites with me today. And remember, serial inventors don't make excuses, they make it happen. See you soon.